How's it going, guys? This weekend is going to be a big game for Fiji, and it's going to be a big game for England to really get their their season started. I think England are going to have a very tough time up against Fiji. I think looking at both squads is going to be a lot of fight. There's going to be a lot of tries happening here as well. But I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this. So please like, subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. And let's get into it. Looking at previous results, Fiji are actually coming in pretty good form. Now, albeit the teams that they have played have been subpar in comparison to the top tier teams. But then again, I can't say that much about England either. The only team that they played that was of a top tier was Argentina. Sorry, Italy. You just aren't there yet. But otherwise, Fiji have come away with, some pretty good wins. So they are actually in good spirits. They're in good form as well. But England, World Cup, they ended up getting the better of them. Let's break into the teams because this is going to be interesting. So first up, Joe Hayes, Cowan Dickey, Ellis Genge. This is going to be scary. Genge, in my opinion, is quite possibly one of the best loose heads in world rugby. Personally, I used to have it Ox Porter Genge. Now it's Ox Genge Porter. The performances that Genge put in, not only at club level, but for the Lions, has been spectacular. This guy, he is just he's just an immovable object. The guy, he's just such a good scrummager. He's thick, he's packed heavy, and he's just one of those important players that you're going to get a good performance out of him. Cowan Dickey as well, huge player. And then Joe Hayes. Joe Hayes is definitely still improving. I think I really like Joe Hayes. He definitely deserves more time, and I'm so happy to see him getting some starting time. I wasn't expecting him to start, to be honest, but big player. In terms of the halfback pairing, now this is where things are going to get interesting, because Alex Coles and Ollie Chessum are starting at lock. Now, the first thing that came to my mind is Alex Coles is starting for England. Like, I was so pumped about it, but then I realized, where's Maro Itoje? How are they not playing their captain? Where is Maro Itoje? So I don't know what kind of tactics they're going on here, because Maro Itoje is phenomenal, especially for England. So them not playing Maro Itoje kind of confused me. But what you'll find here is at number 19, they have him on the bench. So he must be coming on as an impact player. I don't know if they are resting him, or maybe he picked up a tiny little bit of a niggle and they're just kind of, edging it. I don't know, but I'm happy to see Alex Coles at 4, because he plays the 4, he plays the 6, he plays the 5. He's, he can play pretty much anywhere. So Alex Coles, hallelujah. I am so happy to see Alex Coles. He deserved it. His performances, he's deserved it. And then Ollie Chessum, I say this all the time. He's like a walking fridge. The guy, he's like, you just don't stop him. He just goes straight. And people bounce off of him. So I'm so happy to see that halfback pair. I think this might actually be the first time that they've ever started together. And then Guy Pepper at 6, Cunningham South at 8, and then Ben Earl at 7. Okay, Cunningham South, I was not expecting at 8, not in the slightest. Maybe at 6, Guy Pepper at 7, Ben Earl at 8. Like that, I could have understood, but Cunningham South at 8. Obviously, he brings, he's what, 22 years old? He's an absolute monster of a human being. He's, he brings that fight. He brings that extra energy. Guy Pepper, Borthwick does seem to like him at 6. But, Cunningham South was definitely a shock to me at 8. I'm not complaining. I like Cunningham South. I think, he's still got a lot more to improve and to prove why he deserves his spots. But 8 is definitely different. I think they kind of expecting Fiji to play that very offensive breakdown game, and I think they're going to try and come out the gates hot, and having someone like Cunningham South there is definitely going to be a big pro. And then Ben Earl at 7 is just monster. But again, I was expecting Earl at least at the 8. So yeah, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, like I say, Cunningham South 6, Guy Pepper 7, Ben Earl 8. Yeah, I could have seen that. But yeah, that one confused me. Saints halfback pairing. I mean, this just starts off the same. Well, Alex Cole started off the Saints, but Alex Mitchell, Finn Smith, that Saints partnership, absolutely love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Finn Smith is going to work in that pocket. I think he's going to find those little gaps of space, and he's going to use someone like Faywa Bosa. He's going to use the likes of Tommy Freeman in the air, find those little holes in that defense, ping the ball across. I think we're going to see it time and time again, and I think England are going to break down Fiji time and time again. So I think we're definitely going to see tries from Faywa Bosa and Tommy Freeman here. In terms of the centre partnership, Dingwall, ding, 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 Saints player again, and then Ollie Lawrence. I'm happy to see Saints players here, but I am more happy to see Ollie Lawrence coming back into the squad. He's been out for so long, and I am a huge Ollie Lawrence fan. I think what he brings to the game, his ball carrying ability is phenomenal. He can play the 12 as well, plays the 13. I really, really like him at 13. So having that partnership between him and Dingwall is going to be beautiful. I think they are going to need to kind of work a bit together, to gain that real connection. But this is definitely a good start and a good starting point. So Dingwall, Ollie Lawrence in as that centre partnership. I love that partnership. And then Tommy Freeman and then Faywa Bosa out on the wings. I don't think we could have asked for a better set of wings. I can't see anybody starting there other than these two. Yes, there are a couple of players that have been playing well, but Faywa Bosa is just one of those players that, he gets something done. He's been playing so well for Exeter. He's been scoring like there's no tomorrow. And then, can you say anything other than Tommy Freeman outside of being classified as one of the best wingers in world rugby? In my opinion, he is. He's up there with the likes of your BLBRAs. He's up there with the likes of your Cheslin Colbys and so on. Tommy Freeman, he's so versatile. He can play anywhere you want him to play along the backs. He's brilliant in the air. He's got pace to burn. He's brilliant at fending off people. He can break the defensive line. He can beat wingers to the ball. He can pretty much do anything. He's one of the most complete players, complete wingers in world rugby right now. And then Marcus Smith at 15. I wasn't expecting Marcus at 15, but I'm not complaining. I think Marcus Smith definitely does bring something to the game. He's got a brilliant kicking game, and that offensive play, I think he probably suits him a little bit better to the 15. And having Finn, I think ever since Finn was really called up and started playing, he kind of took that spot away from Marcus. Obviously there was the option of George Ford as well, but we aren't getting to see that. In terms of the subs, we got Jamie George, Finn Baxter, a poker for Jaw, another player that I cannot wait to see start. I think he is going to be one of these players that he's going to be breaking through in the next year to 2 years in the build up to the World Cup. And honestly, if he continues performing the way he does, I think he can definitely even be a starter for England by the time the World Cup rolls around. Captain Maro Itoje on the bench, which kind of confused me. Tom Curry, the Terminator himself, at 20. Henry Pollock, which that 13, that 8 spot, I can definitely see Mr. Henry Pollock coming in, whether it's for Earl, whether it's for Cunningham South. I think Pollock, every time he's on the ball, every time he's on the field, he brings something, and I think I'm gut feeling he's going to get himself a try. So I think around the 60th minute, well, I'm going to say the 52nd minute, we're going to see Henry Pollock come on. We're going to see, depending on how things go, maybe even Cunningham South drop to 6, and have Pollock come in at 8 and just start, destroying everything, and then be right next to his buddies at 9 and 10. Ben Spencer, and then Henry Arundel. So Arundel, he's definitely one of those players that can definitely make, something happen out of nothing. But yeah, he's on the bench. I can't see Arundel getting game time over Faywa, Bosa, and Freeman. And then Rugby Pass don't actually have the team sheet for Fiji, but I managed to find it here. Will Kelleher, he ended up posting this, where he's can only find it on Facebook. But this squad is going to be brilliant. Let's break it down. Please bear with me in terms of the pronunciations, because these are lots of names that I will not be able to pronounce properly. But otherwise, in terms of the pack, they got Aroni Maui, Tavita Ikanivere, and then Misaki Dogecoin, Dog, I don't know. Personally, I don't know them. Isoa Nasila Sila, I think so. Timo Mayavanua, I know him and I love him. I'm so sad to see him go away from the Saints. But Mayavanua, beautiful player, very strong, very strong lock. So he's at 5. Kitione Salawa, Kanakai Vata, Elia Kanakai Vata, I think that's him. And then William Mata, I know William Mata. This guy, he's going to be an absolute nightmare to handle. I'm telling you this now. That energy, that pressure that he's going to be putting on is going to be very difficult to handle. So Mata is definitely going to be one of these players that's going to be an absolute nuisance. Simeone Kuruvoli, again, big play. He moves that ball around quick. Caleb Muntz, I don't think he's going to be able to handle the pressure. I don't think he's going to be able to handle that back row. I think that pressure that he's going to put on him, he's going to crumble. I really do. I really do. But the Flying Fijians are notoriously scary when going forward. So Caleb Muntz can definitely put in a good ball, and then have someone like Juita Wainikolo come through and just absolutely destroy some people. Send people to another planet. He's more than capable of breaking ankles and sending you flying. So Wainikolo, Joshua Tuisova as well, another huge player, brilliant with ball to hand, brilliant center. And then Kalaveti Ravauval. Ravauval is not a joke. We've seen this time and time again. He's built like a bull and he's got the speed of a bloody cheetah. This guy, I don't understand how he's able to move so quickly and so effectively. So him at 13 is definitely going to be a big task. I do think England's going to be able to handle it for the most part, but I can definitely see if anyone's going to be getting a try, it's going to be Ravauval. Ravi Taumada, Celestino Ravi Taumada, and then Selesi Rayasi. From the people that I know, this is actually pretty good. The Fijians are notoriously difficult to handle when going forward. It's just their defense which tends to break down. They don't get into position fast enough. They at times feel like they lackadaisical. They tired. They have lapses of concentration, and that ultimately ends up biting them in the backside, especially when you have someone like Finn Smith who will, quite easily find those little pockets. In terms of their subs, they got Togaitama, Hetet, Tawake, Voce, Misaki Voce. When he comes on, that's going to be interesting. Motikai Mari, Sam Y, Isaiah Armstrong Ravula, and then Sireli Makala. So again, honestly, a lot of these players I don't know, but the players that I do know are scary. I do know how the Fijians play, and you cannot overlook them. They will happily put tries past you like there's no tomorrow, and they are all built like Jonah Loma. So definitely a very, very big squad. They are going to be very difficult to handle. England cannot, get complacent even for 1 second, because the Fijians will hit them hard. It just comes down to performance. I think England, the way that they have been playing, they've been pretty consistent throughout the game, where in the 2024 Autumn Nations, we found them so brilliant and so strong for the first 50 minutes, and then they ended up breaking down. I do feel since Maro Itoje has come in, Steve Borthwick has obviously made a couple of changes. We've seen a couple new faces come in. We've seen players like Dingwall. We've seen players like Finn Smith. We've seen, Cunningham South getting more time now. there are some players here that, have definitely improved the squad, made it, just that little bit better. And there's obviously something working that England are doing. So they do deserve, um, you know, they do deserve all the credit that's coming their way, especially for the recent performances that they've been having. I mean, just look at the Six Nations. They actually performed really, really well. They've got so many Lions in their squad as well. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. Is there anything for the lineup? Men's international ranking. Yeah, let's take a look here. England, they have jumped into fourth, which is kind of interesting because they are now actually only 0.81 points away from Ireland. So if Ireland I can't see them having a bad day up against Japan. But if for whatever reason they do, England can quite easily take that third spot, which would be that would be interesting. But a lot can change because France, if they come away with a win up against South Africa, we could see a complete shuffle in that top four. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. Really, really going to be interesting. I mean, and even if Fiji are able to beat England, we could see a little shuffle in terms of 9, 8, 7. Yeah, so I think it would only be between 7, 8, 9 that there would be a change here, unless Argentina lose. Oh, there's all the back and forth. So, what are your score predictions? I do think England are going to come away with a win. I think they're going to win by 3 tries, 2 converted, 1 non. And yeah, I just think England, they are going to be too strong at the breakdown. They're going to be very strong in the scrums. I can't see Fiji beating England in terms of the set pieces. I think having someone like Ellis Genge, Cowan Dickey, Joe Hayes is actually a monster as well. So I think, yeah, these players, honestly, I don't know that much about the Fijians pack, but England are no joke. And then having Alex Coles and Ollie Chesham as the lineouts. I mean, Alex Coles is 6'7", so definitely a handy player to have. And we've seen the performances that he's put in. The guy, he's been scoring tries. He's been putting in big tackles. He's been so brilliant defensively, offensively. He's just been in such amazing form. So yay to Alex Coles, but I just can't see Fiji coming away with a win. But anything's possible in this game. We saw Ireland versus New Zealand, and for a vast majority of the game, I was expecting Ireland to come away with a win. Turns out, Mighty Williams is very mighty, put the brakes on Ireland, and then Wallace Atiti ended up finishing off the game. So anything can happen in rugby. England get complacent, they will happily be put on their backside. So drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Please like, subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.